How can us Christians can show the amazing love of Jesus Christ to the world, and at the same time showing that the world is wrong on some of their values?
And the second part again, please, sir.
And how can we show to the world,
Right, the love
even
of
through
Jesus.
the love of Jesus Christ,
Okay.
that the world is wrong sometimes?
Okay. It's a very practical question and a very real question from the skeptic. Unfortunately, we don't always do well. You know, when you travel around and you're a little bit of a public person and things don't go the way you wanted them to go when you're standing in line or buying an airline ticket, or suddenly being told you're going to have to sit here for 5 more hours. You know, last week from Washington to Halifax took us 27 hours to get there because we were sitting in airport after airport after airport. And the temptation then is to get upset with the person who's giving you this news as if they had something to do with it. Not. You have to check yourself every moment, every day, and let the aroma of Christ be seen in what you say, how you say it. None of us will ever be perfect. So I want to give you 2 ends of the spectrum here. When Jesus chose the leader of the church, he chose one who actually denied him. It's amazing to me. The one who said, I would never deny you, but denied him 3 times. And Jesus said, upon your confession, upon what you said, I will build my church. He took the weakest among them, the most talkative among them, who always had a question for every situation, and made him the rock, that confession, the rock. Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. So in spite of our frailties, God sees something good that he can do in us and through us. That's been there across history. One of the greatest early apologists was Augustine. Augustine was a sensually driven man. He lived with constant lusting, and yet God made him that early apologist, and so much is now dependent on so much he wrote in the early days of Christendom. But it is our responsibility to start with your inner life. So my question to you each morning would be, have you had your time with the Lord today? That would be the question you have to ask yourself. Because when you start the day with him, the eyes see the world through contact with him. When you don't start the day with him, you will end up actually making a mess of a lot of things, and you'll start seeing him through the eyes of the world. So you discipline your own inner life. Secondly, it has to spread to your family. How you honor the members of your family, how you treat them. And then, even to those who hate you and persecute you, return in kind. Always love and pray for those who might stand against you. It may be your co-worker who makes fun of your belief. That's okay. But the day will come when you're off the map for him, that person will say, Mr. DeRosa, who worked next to me, was the finest man whom I ever met in all of the years that I worked. Be a shining light in a dark world. I'll close with this. When I was in California a couple of weeks ago, a couple came up to me and they said, we live in a very dark world, my husband and I. We work in the industry of video games. My husband and I work here they were in Santa Barbara somewhere, work in video game industry. She said it's a very dark place, and the tears were running down her face. She said, what you spoke today, I needed to hear. And I said, if God has put you in a dark place, the light should shine brighter, and make sure you're always in the place God wants you to be. Honor your calling and be a bright light. Don't lose hope. Years will go by and you will find out how much the salt and light you really were. You'll find that to be better than you think. Okay? God bless.